You may have noticed that we're living in troubled times. We have escalating climate change, the deterioration of democracy, poor getting poorer and rich getting richer. We have big tech companies basically operating above governments, putting in motion these huge societal changes without asking anyone's permission or opinion, AI being just the latest of these disruptions. A lot of jobs are collapsing while the need to make a living and the human need to do something meaningful together with others hasn't gone anywhere. And of course, there's war and the incessant slaughtering of the innocent. It's a lot to take in. Frankly, it's too much to take in for any individual person. You probably know all of this already, and anyway, isn't this supposed to be a channel about video games? Well, yes, and there's like 10 work-in-progress scripts that I should be concentrating on instead of doing whatever the heck this is. But right now, video games feel like a luxury we can't afford to waste any time on. Sound and fury signifying nothing. It all feels hollow in the face of recent events that make it impossible not to notice the gathering darkness around us. For me, video games are a lot of things. They can be these personally affecting artistic experiences. There's something that's fun to share and discuss with others, but perhaps most importantly, they are a kind of sanctuary, something where I can unwind and heal, even if I'm playing something really intense. I love music and literature, and I feel like they have shaped me more deeply as a person than video games. But there's something irresistibly cozy and comforting about games in particular, and strangely enough, I think it might have something to do with control. In a game, any game, everything depends on your action or inaction. Unlike real life, it really does all come down to your skill and the choices that you make. If you win, it's on you. If you fail, it's on you. If you decide to slow down and just enjoy the vibes instead of pursuing your objectives, then that's something that you can do too. The same goes for crazy challenges like doing speedruns. You're in control of your in-game avatar, but you are also in control of the game in a wider sense. It is what you want it to be. And the funny thing is that while you're fully responsible for what happens, there are no stakes. Failing just means trying again. And this process of trying and retrying can in itself be interesting and meaningful. Right now, in the real world, I feel very much powerless. All the things that have been set in motion that I mentioned at the start of this video are like a meteorite hovering in the sky, except the sky is inside my skull. I'm not sure how to react to this threat. It's a hyper object, too vast to comprehend in its entirety, and so it blocks my mind, making me unable to think and making me feel like I have no control. And this time, there is everything at stake. You really don't want to get a game over right now. I might be wrong, but I think one reason for the huge popularity of video games is that they are something that you can feel control over, especially at a time when everything around us seems to rapidly spin out of control. Playing a good game feels like you're able to do something cool, achieve something, experiment and explore. And it's all because you've chosen to do so, not because you're forced to by outside circumstances. There is no driving force outside of yourself. And the rules of a video game, even the most challenging one, are deterministic, which means that there are clear paths to victory. You may have to put in a lot of time to get good at the game, but it won't suddenly shift midway through, changing all the rules and making all of your efforts futile. a video game isn't usually evil, or it's evil in a fun Kaizo Mario kind of way. And so, we turn away from the real world to a world that is strict but ultimately fair. In a paradoxical twist, video games have the power to make us feel human, while the present reality makes us feel like we are stuck inside of a machine. This is not at all the way that things should be. Every generation thinks it's living in exceptional circumstances, but I truly think that right now we are living in very exceptional circumstances. Just the topic of climate crisis alone is enough to devastate your mental health, and we can't even really concentrate on it because there are urgent threats to the freedom that all of us living in the Western world have taken for granted for so long. And so, it becomes tempting to turn inward, to play with our toys, to live more fulfilling lives in the virtual reality. If this video feels like I'm rambling, that's because I'm using it to make sense of what's happening inside of me right now and to reorient myself after having all of my thoughts and emotions scrambled. Maybe I'll regret it later and unlist it or something. But maybe some of you are going through something similar, feeling like the stuff that you usually enjoy has lost its meaning for a while. That's a scary feeling. I've had it happen before, so I know that this too shall pass. But I also know that it signals a need for reflection and some sort of reaction. The need for me to get back into doing stuff instead of getting lost in the mists of meaninglessness. So this is what I'm thinking right now about playing video games in a world that's falling apart. We need places of sanctuary where we can rest and recharge. We need things that inspire us, and we need common interests that we can talk about with people who are otherwise perfect strangers, so that we can have a point of connection. This is why all arts and culture matters, video games included. They can be a way of keeping us sane and bringing us together. But we have to be careful about using them only as a temporary means of escape, not a permanent one. We don't want to become machines of the virtual as well as of the real. We want to use the virtual to remind us of who we are and what we are capable of, even and especially at times of hopelessness. Thanks for watching. I appreciate every one of you.